unbelievable. You really think you're the best newscaster out there? You even know who Keemstar is? Drama alert? And right, no, that's not you. That's just, no. You have nowhere to go. You have to start from the bottom, and you're barely a little pupil at this point. Come on now, get yourself together. I don't even know if you know what news is, or gaming news at that.
What are you doing in here?
Nothing, man, nothing.
What is this?
I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can. I don't have this, man.
Is it New Mexico City?
I thought I told you. That little kid has given me nightmares.
You have 3 children, depending on you, to report these news stories. You have an adopted child. Willie,
I just don't have it, man.
you got this.
I got it.
You got this. You know what? No, I'm not hearing this from you. This is not the Willie I know. This is not the Willie I know. You know what? Look at yourself. Look at this. Look at that hair. Okay?
I mean, it does look good.
This is an upgrade from the time. Okay?
The Van Heusen was a nightmare
It
too.
was a nightmare. Don't appreciate you giving me. We want to address that right now. You know what? Here, let's go ahead. Come on, let's go ahead. Let's get you spiced up here, buddy. Which mode? Oh yeah, there we go. We'll do it on that mode. How's that make you feel?
I'm a little up to date now, I guess. Hey, yeah.
All right. Can you do this?
Who's
Can
that?
you do this?
I think I can do this.
Can you do this?
Willie Shakes can do this.
Are you pumped?
I'm pumped, baby.
Are you pumped? I'm pumped. Let's go. Let's report this news. Let's report this news.
Alright guys, welcome back to Cop News. Willie Shakes reporting live, and thankfully I made it back, you know, and my boy Vinny, he helped me out, had a little bit of motivation. I was diving down into some dark spaces, but thankfully he gave me a pep talk, and I'm living life at its finest right now. But the last time I saw you, we had Gears of War happen in New Mexico City. Sorry, a tongue twister there. But since then, there's only been a couple of 2K tournaments that's going on. And quite frankly, I'm just not a big fan of those because there's not a whole lot of teams. They're okay to watch, but it's just something that I'm not a big fan. I did happen to watch the Optic Gaming. They went up against Denial again and smoked Denial once more. So Optic dethroned them. Optic also faced another team that I can't remember the name, and they ended up losing as well. Or Optic won that one, the other team lost. And then the other thing that I did really like about this was the team E-United, which you'll hear that in some. Basically, it's a business that they've have other teams under as well. But I saw that this team, E-United's been a team for quite some time, and I'm really a big fan of that because at that point you get to know your teammate, and over a period of time you know who you can rely on when in certain moves, certain areas, and you know what's going to happen, and that's something that's really, really big. But for moving forward with Gears of War, I'm only going to start to report the big tournaments. The next big tournament that we have is going to be in April. That's going to be the Boston circuit. So eventually, I'm going to have that video out in April. Probably say that one because that tournament's in the late April. You might get that one at the beginning of June, possibly, for the Gears of War Boston. So that's how I'm going to go with the Gears of War tournaments and just keep moving forward with those. Alright, now, over the weekend, we had, or St. Patrick's Day weekend actually, we had a huge tournament for Call of Duty. I was having so much fun with it. There were so many big plays. It's Call of Duty Fort Worth, and the big crown went to Luminosity. Team LG, they took on Splice. It seemed like Luminosity could not lose. They had everything down. If you had a question, they had an answer for it, basically. The rotation on the hard points were solid. Search and destroy. We had possibly some of the nastiest shots I've seen from Formal and Gunless. And I'll show those videos in a little bit later on, but let me tell you, hands down, Luminosity, you know, they're not showing up in the Pro League as much, but, you know, that just depends on, you know, where they want to go with things. How hard they want to practice. Are they not taking the Pro League serious, but they're going to take the tournaments more serious? who really knows, but at least at this point in time, Luminosity killed it. They did their thing. And also, hands out to Spice. You know, they gave up a good fight. They basically lost to Luminosity to go into the losers bracket. And then they won the losers bracket. And you would think when they come off of that losers bracket, Luminosity had been sitting for some time. So they're going to go a little bit cold. But right off the bat, Hardpoint, they won. It was unbelievable. And to me, I'm a big Optic fan. And also 100 Thieves, and that's just because I'm a big fan of Nadeshot. Nadeshot was also a part of Optic Gaming. The Green Wall, everybody knows, OG, they keep it real. Scump, you know, again, big fan of him. Karma, Crim6, Dashy, he hasn't been playing in the Pro League, but now this was his first time back with Optic, and he had a nasty three-piece that I'm definitely going to go over later on in this video. But disappointing round for them. They finished in the top 12. I thought they were going to go a little bit farther. That's just because they've been doing their thing for quite some time. But the next one is going to be London, and big things are going to be happening in that. You best believe I'm going to stay with the Pro League. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Pro League. The Pro League, I've been watching this a lot, and there's a lot of things that I'm a little confused on, but I've also seen it in the past, and I'm not really too confused. But the fact that a lot of teams are trading their players, or at least it looks that way. I'm not saying they're actually just trading them. So they could be saying, hey, let me borrow this player, put him on another. Because right now, you have in one standing, you have Gen.G, Midnight, and then you have Optic Gaming. Now, all of a sudden, Midnight doesn't have half the players that they had in the beginning. So I was a little confused at that. And quite frankly, I at first thought Midnight was going to take this home because, you know, a brand new team with brand new players that not everyone's really familiar with. So we don't know exactly what they could be doing. Now, obviously, Gen.G didn't do so well in the, they also were in the Fort Worth tournament, but ends up they didn't do as well either. But that's the thing. I think Gen.G is possibly going to win this. But then I also have thoughts on, you have 100 Thieves. They're in the top 3 as well with E United. And E United, I honestly might think will take the whole thing. And the reason being is because you have Clayster, he's been around for who knows how long. JCap, another solid player. He was considered one of the greatest players of all back in his heyday. Now, I'm not saying he's not now, but that's who I think. And then also you have Heretics. Now, what's great about this is because you have 2 divisions. So now we're at the halfway mark. They're going to have interleague games playing. So we're going to have all kinds of teams going from one division to the next playing those. They're going to stay in the same division, but they're not going to have where they're going to play only divisional games. So here out right now, this is my top 3. Actually, I'll go top 4 teams that I think could make this. If Luminosity plays like they did in Fort Worth, I'm going to say they're going to make the Final 4. I'm going to say right now, E United, Optic Gaming, as long as they can get everybody together. And I think either Gen.G or 100 Thieves. I'm going to go with Gen.G on this one. Because Gen.G, they did their thing in the tournament. They just couldn't finish strong. So that's what I think. Hopefully, I'm right. We'll see what happens. But we'll move forward in the next video, and I'll have the results of what happens in that one. Now, as I said in the beginning, I had a couple videos. I have my top 3 videos, I believe, or clips, not videos, that in my opinion, were some of the nastiest clips. The first one, you're going to have Formal, which this was in the final stage. It was in the first search and destroy map, and he basically traded sniper shots. And he got hit, he gave out a hit marker, and then next thing you know, he got the kill. Nasty, nasty sniper. I haven't seen snipes like that in a long time, but now, after watching a lot of the games, I noticed that there's a lot of snipers. So, I'm pretty excited to see what happens in the future. The next video, we have Gunless. Gunless went off in this nasty little 2-piece, 180. He goes for the kill, He shoots him, then hits him with a little jabberooski. Then next thing you know, he passes by an enemy, turns around, jumping 180, and smacks him right in the face with some shots. And then the third and final clip, we got Dashy. Dashy's back with Optic Gaming, and he did not disappoint. Search and Destroy on Arsenal. Actually, I don't believe it was Arsenal. I have to go back to the clip to see what it was. I cannot remember the map name. But this was possibly one of the nastiest clips I've seen in a while. So Search and Destroy. He is in the situation 1v3. Gets the first guy. Then he snipes the second guy from distance. Runs up on him. And then quickly goes to the left and just machine guns it. At that point in time, he has enough time to defuse the bomb. Possibly one of the nastiest plays I've seen in a while. So, and then moving forward, we're gonna be going. We're gonna be going over some MK11 tournaments. As you guys know, we're a big MK11 fan right now, Mortal Kombat fan, as the whole Council of Trolls are. So we're pretty excited about that, and we'll have some videos. I'm gonna be watching a lot of those tournaments in April. Hopefully they have some right as it drops. Might not, but let's go ahead and move next to the shout-outs. There's a couple guys, there's a girl and a couple guys actually that have been following us for the past 2 weeks, and I'm very, very excited that you guys actually took the time. You guys were great people when I was speaking to you while we were playing Call of Duty. The first one is It's Gomer's Wife. You were one of the first persons I reached out to, and I thought you were the coolest person. We had fun that day playing Call of Duty. The next one is In Lachey, little youngster. I know you were pretty excited when you said, "Oh, you're a YouTuber." Well, I mean, kind of. We're getting there. We're growing up to be something. So hopefully you and your little brother or older brother, I don't know. I just know you have a brother, and shout out to him as well. And hopefully you can just join us on this journey. Inverted Helix, man, I have mad respect for you, man, because we were playing Rocket League. I was just talking some trash. I didn't really think you were going to be like, "Hey, you want to team up?" And next thing I know, you're like a little prodigy on Rocket League, dude. That was, some of the stuff you've done is pretty insane. Love Potion number 9, bro. You probably don't remember me, but we were playing some Search. I told you, don't worry. I got this. Although I didn't finish strong. Actually, no, now I think about it, I did finish strong. I was number 1. At the end of it, I started off slow, couldn't get a lot of kills, but at the end, I brought it together, and what do you know? We swamped them, smacked them, teed off on them, did whatever. I think we even had a couple people rage quit. But like I said, bro, I had it. We had nothing to worry about. And the third and final thing, as a group, I know we don't really say it as much, but now we're going to start saying it just a little bit. If you know somebody that is really cool and you want to show them, spread some love, just say, "Hey, give me your phone," or say, "Hey, do you have your phone?" Click on this YouTube app and then type in Council of Trolls, hit subscribe, and just watch us. And if you guys can do that, we gladly appreciate it. It means a lot to us because we plan on doing this a whole lot. So much love. Willie Shakes out.